So, as they say, the rains held off and the skies were clear enough for the fireworks to be seen. The United States Army celebrating its 250th birthday in style. Our Liz Landers and Andrew Rafferty down in the National Mall. Liz, I'll start with you. Your thoughts?
Well, it was certainly an impressive show there at the end, Del. I've come down to the mall for fireworks shows on July 4th in the past, and it's always beautiful, and this was a beautiful ending to the celebration, Del. But I am just thinking back to the split screen that we were talking about earlier today with those protests in Los Angeles, and whether the American public how the American public is thinking about this today. I think this will be some good follow-up reporting for us in the future, and hopefully there will be another 250th celebration of the Army.
Yeah, look, people were lukewarm on this parade going into this. There were majorities opposed to the idea of spending federal money for it. I don't know if this changed any minds. I will say that some of the worst fears from Democrats of this being an overly political event didn't seem to come to fruition, at least not here on the ground. You can experience it different on television. But yes, so were politics involved, no doubt. Seeing the president there at the end just reminds you of that. But the focus did seem to stay on the troops throughout this hours-long parade, which I think is something that a lot of Americans can at least appreciate.
Katie Tubman, the cost of the parade, some $45 million. Concerns about what happens to the streets of Washington, D.C. That is a story for another day. Among the people that you were talking to down there on the ellipse, were they satisfied with what they saw?
Well, Del, they definitely seem satisfied, especially with the show there at the end. As Andrew and Liz mentioned, this was a very big event, and it was likely to be politicized, but that wasn't the feeling here. And I can tell you, when folks were watching the fireworks show, everyone was doing the same thing. Everyone was looking up, and in that moment, I was reminded by a lot of the people we spoke to today, saying that this is about unifying people, bringing them together, regardless of their political backgrounds or their belief. This is about supporting the military and the troops who've either served or will serve in the future, and that was the point of today. And one thing that I noticed, Del, that particularly stood out for me was hearing so many people tell anyone who was in uniform or out of uniform, thank you for your service. That was the main point of today, and that definitely felt through and through, all the way through to those fireworks that we just all were looking up at.
Katie Tubman down in the National Mall, Liz Landers and Andrew Rafferty on the mall as well. Once again, the fireworks did seem to be a fitting end to a day with a split screen moment, if you will, both on the East Coast and on the West Coast. The one thing uniting both coasts, the smoke. The smoke from the fireworks is now starting to clear on the East Coast, but the smoke from the canisters on the West Coast now just starting to heat up. A 3-hour time difference. We're keeping an eye on all of that. Also, our thanks to our historian, Charles Bowery, who perhaps summed it up best. He said, an army is 250 years old now, an army that takes an oath to a constitution, to the idea that all men and women are created equal. What we saw on display was that army. It is an army of men and now women, and yes, gay and straight, and a changing America. And one thing that seems to be consistent, it is an army that has withstood the test of times. We are going to leave you right now.